Hello, it seems like we got some clue to why social media sites are so pushy about age verification all of a sudden. We can read here, Reddit user uncovers who is behind Meta's $2 billion lobbying for invasive age verification tech. So it seems a bit weird. Why does social media want to have age verification? Reddit researcher exposes Meta's $2 billion campaign to force Apple and Google into building surveillance systems while exempting its own platforms. And then we can scroll down a little bit here. And the key takeaway Meta funneled $2 billion through non-profit shells to push phone age verification laws. Proposed laws mandate OS-level APIs, creating permanent identity tracking in every device. Age verification bills target Apple and Google while exempting Meta's social platforms. How convenient. And then if we start to read the article, a Reddit researcher just exposed how Meta funded over $2 billion through shadowy non-profits to push age verification laws that would force Apple and Google to build surveillance infrastructure into every device while conveniently exempting Meta's own platform from the same requirements. Following the money trail through dark networks, Meta's lobbying operation spans 45 states using non-profit shells to avoid transparency requirements. The investigation by GitHub user 𝗟𝗡𝗏 traces funding through organizations like the Digital Childhood Alliance, DCA, which launched December 18, 2024 and testified for Utah's SB 142 just days later. Bloomberg and Desert News reported Meta's backing of DCA, part of a $70 million fragmented super PAC strategy designed to evade FEC tracking. Traditional election spending disclosure requirements don't apply for this fragmented approach. So it's always about this with protecting children, and that's why we need to have more surveillance. And as we can see here, they're finding some backdoors to avoid the laws and disclosure so they can funnel all this money. So it's very apparent that they have a reason and a goal, and that they don't want to get caught, and that's why they're doing this weird way. I don't know how the laws are in the US, but I suppose they could donate money openly and support this childhood alliance openly and all that, but instead they're taking this weird path to avoid disclosing all this information. So yeah, it's obviously that they don't want it to get out. What Get Age Category API really means for your device. Proposed laws would embed persistent identity verification directly into operating systems. The technical reality hits harder than policy abstractions. These bills mandate OS-level APIs that apps can query for age data, creating a permanent identity layer baked into your phone's core functions. Meta's Horizon OS for Quest VR already implements this infrastructure through family-centered controls. Now they want Apple and Google to build similar systems that every app can access, turning age verification into persistent device fingerprinting. Yeah, that's quite smart of them to use this angle to do tracking instead. So historically, Meta and Facebook have done very fishy tactics to fingerprint users to be able to track them. And so when you visit something else or come back and visit other sites that have these Facebook like buttons, and if you have the Facebook app installed on your phone, they do a lot of fishy tactics to be able to track you and gather more data to be able to sell to advertisers. But more and more these things are being caught, and the web browser and the operating systems, they are patching these holes that Meta has previously found. So it seems like now Meta is creating a new holes that they can use, since I guess that many of the previous ones have been fixed, so it's not as easy anymore to get fingerprinting data. The curious case of platform exemptions. Age verification bills target Meta's competitors while leaving Meta platforms untouched. Here's where the lobbying gets surgical. The proposed laws hammer Apple's App Store and Google Play with compliance requirements, but reportedly spare social media platforms, Meta's core business. It's like Spotify lobbying for streaming regulations that only apply to Apple Music. The child safety rhetoric masks a competitive strategy that shifts liability from platforms to operating system makers. Very convenient of them to push on the operating system that they need to do something. Europe shows a different path forward. EU's 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗟 2.0 offers privacy-preserving age verification with zero-knowledge proofs that protect personal data. The European Union's digital identity wallet takes a radically different approach. Zero-knowledge proofs let you verify age without revealing personal data, like showing you're over 18 without disclosing your birth date or identity details. It's open source, self-hostable, and only applies to large platforms while exempting FOSS and small entities. Meanwhile, US lawmakers seem ready to let Meta bamboozle them into complete privacy annihilation. That's interesting. I didn't know this existed, but yeah, it's interesting then that the US doesn't look at technology that already exists and use that to like reach this goal of verifying age, but without revealing personal data. But obviously Meta wants to have that personal data. That's what it is all about. But personally, I'm very skeptical to this with age verification to begin with. I don't think it's needed. The web worked very well when I grew up, and I don't see the need for all this tracking and age verification. I think it's more up to the parents to their parenting and limit what your children are exposed to, and this with child safety, they don't care about child safety. It's just to track users and gain more knowledge. Your device's trustworthiness hangs in the balance. These laws could force every Linux distribution and privacy-focused Android fork to implement identity verification or face legal liability. The choice between surveillance-free computing and regulatory compliance is coming faster than you think. Yeah, this is also ridiculous that Linux distributions would need to enforce age verification. And how would that even work? So would they need to have like region locking on the operating system? Like, why couldn't you torrent a non-European and non-US distribution? Like maybe there's some African distribution or African region version of a distribution. Why couldn't you in Europe just download that version and install it on your computer? How would they be able to prevent you from installing the African Linux distribution? Like, what's the next step? Is it that Intel and AMD need to prevent on a CPU level what kind of distribution you're even trying to run and install? Maybe I shouldn't give them any ideas, because it feels like that's the logical next step to this surveillance state. Otherwise, like, what's preventing you within the European Union to just download a non-European Union distribution that doesn't have any age verification? If you want to read more, you can find the original post here on Reddit, but it's quite long, so here you can see the title, and it has gained a lot of upvotes and a lot of publicity. And then if you like scroll down, it's a lot of content, so it seems like they've done a very good job with it. But yeah, if you don't have the patience, I think it's good with these articles like this one that like summarize it, because as you can see, there's a lot of content behind it, and it has been out for a few days, and now when people have gained like the attention, there are more people who are joining and doing even more research. So I think it's very good what people are doing. So hopefully this subject can get even more attention, and maybe the laws can be stopped before they're voted for and passed. But as always, like in this instance, it's always about protecting children. Companies and governments, they always use this protect the children angle to get more surveillance and more control of us citizens. But that was everything for today. Please leave a comment and tell what you think about these news, and we will see each other another time. Bye bye!